Hello my dear students, welcome you again. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss a hands-on implementation of alter table command, in which we can add a column or drop a column or modify a column. Then our basic aim of this video lecture to implement data integrity constraint while creating a table. Okay, so today's video lecture is devoted to demonstrate how the integrity constraints are implemented. In previous video lecture, we have implemented create table command, then drop table, alter table, truncate table, rename. Okay, also to demonstrate this command, we have studied insert into table name values, and after that we have seen select command to display the records in the table. Okay, so basic aim of today's video lecture is to have a demonstration on alter table command. So alter table is basically used to modify the created table structure. So we can add an extra column in the created table. Last practical we have added email in the student table. Also we can modify a column data type or size using alter table name, modify column name and its type, or we can modify the constraint also using the alter table command. Then if you want to delete that column from the table, then you can use alter table name drop is a keyword to delete a column from the table, and then drop column name. So that is the syntax for deleting the specific column from the table. Then we have to discuss constraint. Constraints are the specific condition given to the column to have the relative values in that column. So basically there are two types of constraint: IO constraint and business rules. In the IO constraint, primary key, foreign key and unique key constraints are there, and in business rules, null constraint, not null and check constraints are there. So we can implement this in SQL. So in previous video lecture, I have told you how to use livesql.oracle. Okay, so open this URL, then click on start coding now. Okay, then log in with your username, that is nothing but your mail ID and password. Which will open you Oracle Live and SQL worksheet. Okay, for our today's practical purpose, I have already written one query. In that we can create student 11, so I can change the name because student 11 is previously created. Student 21 table. In that first column is roll number, its type is integer int, so not null, so it is a constraint. And another constraint I have implemented is check, in bracket roll number is greater than 1000. Then second column is student name, varchar 35, not null and unique. So I have implemented two constraints for that column, not null and unique. Then student age integer, not null, exam fee integer, default 1000. So default value is set to the column exam fee for all the records. The next student address varchar 35, so there is no constraint, and using a constraint keyword I have implemented a primary key constraint on the roll number. So syntax is constraint name, so you can give the specific name as you want, then primary key in bracket on which column you want to implement this constraint. So copy this code and paste the code in your SQL live. Okay, so we are creating student 21 table in which first column is roll number, it is a data type integer, it is not null, first constraint. Then check constraint is roll number is greater than 1000. Then next student name varchar 35, not null and unique is constraint, so names must be unique. Student age integer, not null, exam fee is by default 10,000, student address 35, constraint std1, so already I have created std1, so I can change std21, primary key and roll number, and I have ended create table with the semicolon. Okay, so my dear students, I have implemented all the constraint, that is a primary key constraint, then unique key constraint, not null, check and default. So if you do not want this sentence constraint std21 primary key on the roll number, you can directly copy the primary key here in front of roll number. It automatically creates the constraint like a unique. Okay, so you can run this code. If we write a separate code for every constraint, then it is not easy to understand, also it will be confusing. So I am implementing all the constraint on the student 21 table. Only foreign key constraint is not implemented here. Okay, so I can run this code. So table is created. Okay, so how to check the table will follow the constraint. Constraints are only checked when we are going to insert the values. For that purpose, I have already written a query for inserting the values into the student 21 table. Okay, so student 21, then insert into student name student 21, that is table name, then columns are roll number, student name, student age. Okay, so there is no need to have exam fee because it is a default, so default column will be added like exam fee in the table, so there is no need to have exam fee column here. Then student address, okay, values. Okay, so I can change the values. So roll number 1, then student name is Amar. Okay, then its age is 20 and its address is KOL. Okay, so my dear student, I have inserted a roll number 1 for first record, but your constraint is it must be a not null, also it must be greater than 1000. When we run this, there will be a error, constraint not followed error, or it is a SQL error. When we run this, so that will gives you a error, check constraint violated. Okay, so it is correct. So constraints are applied, so I can have a value of roll number greater than 1000. Okay, so there must be 1000. Then student name is not null if I have given a null value here. Okay, so there is no name, only single inverted commas. Okay, then I can have no value for age also, so there is constraint not null. So I am violating two constraints. For student name, so I am inserting a null value. Also for student age, I am inserting a null value. What happened? We can check this. Okay, missing expression. Okay, so that is very important that these constraints are applied. Okay, I can insert a proper values then. So roll number is greater than 1000, then student name Vijay in single inverted comma because it is a character. Yes, characters are inserted using the single inverted comma. Then student age is 21. Okay, so there is no need of exam fee values here. Okay, so exam fee is not used. Then address Kolhapur. Okay, so I have inserted this value, so it's appropriate, and within the constraint I can run the code, run the query. So one row is inserted, so it is appropriate, it does not violate any constraint. How to check? Select star from table name student 21. So I can paste here. When I can run this, it will give the proper output. That is nothing but roll number 1001, Vijay, age 21. By default, column of exam fee will be present here, 10,000, and address Kolhapur. Okay, so if I want to add a new record, the same new record can be available. Okay, so student 21, so I am adding new record. Then roll number is a primary key, but I am giving the same roll number. Then I will change the name. Okay, because then age is 21, so age is only not null value. Okay, so 21 is there, and address may be a Kolhapur. So my dear student, the same roll number is inserted by me, and we have a primary key constraint. Primary key means that column must hold not null and unique value. So what will be happen when we run this query and I execute this query? So it throws the exception. So exception is like this: unique constraint. Okay, on std21. So std21 is violated. std21 is nothing but a primary key constraint on the roll number is violated. Okay, so it does not have a duplicate value for the roll number. So I can change the value for roll number. So it is now 1002. I can run this query. Okay, so it will add the record. Okay, so how to check this? Copy this select query, can paste it here and run this. It will show your two records. Yes, so first record Vikas Vijay 21, and second is Vikas. Okay, so these two records are inserted. So we have demonstrated a primary key constraint. Okay, can I demonstrate for unique key constraint? Yes, you can demonstrate for unique key constraint. How? So you can insert a record 3 where we can have a primary key constraint appropriate. So new primary key. So I am inserting same name. So student name is unique, but I am inserting a Vikas name once again and then 21, so there is no any thing on the 21, and if I will execute this query, then it must show the violation of unique key constraint. Okay, and I am run this, so it will violate the unique constraint. Yes, it will violate the unique constraint because the value for the column name student name is violated, so it is duplicated. So I can change this to okay. So now this record can be easily added. Okay, so how to check this? So you can check using the select command. So now 3 records are in your table. Yes, these 3 records are there. Okay, so new record is on the top. Okay, so unique key and primary key constraints are we have checked. Also previously we have checked the roll number check constraint. If it is a less than 000,000, then it cannot add. Also it by default add a column having the name exam fee. Okay, so in this way we can demonstrate all this constraint on the table. Okay, so that is a basic example of how to add a constraint and how to add a record in the table. So I can add another record in this table. Okay, so I can change only names and numbers, so which does not violate the condition. Okay, so this new record is added. So 4th record is added. If I will check this, it can be easily gives you a 4th record. Yes, this is the 4th record. Okay, so 4 records are added in our table. Okay, so it will demonstrate how the constraints are applied. Now we have to demonstrate how the columns are modified or how the columns are dropped. Okay, suppose you want to drop a column exam fee, or if you want to draw a column of any column from the above table, you can easily drop using the alter table, or you can easily modify. First we modify using the alter table command. Okay, so what is the alter table command? So alter table name modify and then column and its type. Okay, so I can have the code alter table name. So table name is std21. Yes, std21 is table name. Then modify is keyword. Okay, modify in bracket, you must have a column name. Now I can modify student age. Okay, so I can insert student age without any constraint. So here it is. So student age without any constraint. Alter table student 1 modify, student 21 modify, student age column name. Now it is integer, so I have eliminated not null constraint. When I run this, so table is altered. I can easily add null value to student age. Previously I cannot add null value. Okay, how to demonstrate this? So we can demonstrate using adding the new record. So roll number may be 1005, then student name Sam, then age may be there is no value, or we can have a blank value. Okay, then city name, so there is no name, no value inserted for student age. Can I run this? Yes. So missing expression, so we can have a problem, okay, for the age. Okay, can we run this once again? So missing expression, null value, or you can insert null. Okay, so it is appropriate. Can we run this query? Okay, could not insert null into. Okay, so you cannot insert null directly, so that will demonstrate that null value or 0 value can be inserted. So age may be a 0. 0 is a value. Yes, 0 is a value. So table is altered. Okay, if I want to delete, first we check a record is added or not. So using the select command, select star from table name std21, so we can easily demonstrate how many rows are inserted. Okay, up till now 5 rows are inserted. If you want to delete any column, then what is the symbol for deleting the column? Alter table, table name, drop column, column name. Okay, so that is your syntax. How to implement that? Okay, so I can copy the your syntax, replace the table name with the your table. So that table is nothing but student 21. Yes, student 21. Student 21, drop column. You must insert only column name. If I want to delete a student address, last column from the column your table, then I can only copy the name of that column and paste in front of the column name, or that is a command alter table student 21, drop column student address. Okay, so it will drop the column. Okay, you can run the query. Okay, table is altered. How to check the column is available, dropped or not? So you can use a select command, select this command and run. So there is no column available. Okay, for the table, or we have deleted address from the above table. So these are the use of alter table, modify and drop. And in previous we have implemented student 21 table, roll number, primary key having the check constraint greater than 1000, student name not null and unique, student age integer not null, exam fee is default, student address no constraint, and we have created one constraint student 21, primary key on roll number. So in this way we have demonstrated all the constraint, that is a primary key, unique key, check constraint, null, not null constraint. So these constraints are applied on the table in the create table syntax. Also we have demonstrated alter table with modify and drop option. Okay, so in next video lecture we are going to discuss how we can demonstrate a primary foreign key constraint, because for foreign key we require on delete cascade operation, and to understand the foreign key constraint we must study DML commands. In the DML commands we can study how to insert, how to delete, how to update a record. When we studied in 2.7 the deletion operation, then we can demonstrate foreign key constraint and how the on delete cascade operation is done. Okay, so in today's video lecture we have demonstrated all the constraint in your syllabus except foreign key constraint. So we have implemented not null and check constraint on roll number, not null and unique constraint on student name, student age having the not null constraint, and we have created a primary key on the roll number. Also we have demonstrated alter table modify and alter table doc. Okay, so after the completion of this practice you can save your script. Okay, so click on the save. It will ask you a name for the script, so that is a experiment number 2.1 because we have foreign key also. So experiment number 2.1, and you can save this. So it will save you in the script. You can copy these statements and paste it on the Word. Okay, so you can open a Word file, new Word file. Okay, paste in your script here. Okay, script are paste here and save as a PDF. Okay, save as a PDF for experiment number 2_1 PDF. Save it and mail me the output of your experiment number 2. Okay, so that is your task for experiment number 2.1. Okay, so in next video lecture we can discuss 2.7 first, and then we can start with the practical of foreign key. Okay, till then stay at home, stay safe, stay healthy, happy learning.